So there's still this question of how involved the White House is. As we all know, the president has been, agnostic and saying one bill, two bills, I don't care. But he's leaned into one beautiful bill. Politico, in a story yesterday, please put up 101, reported this. Vance, Stephen Miller, and Russ Vought are among those in the administration pushing for two bills. Scott Bessent wants one. Now, I don't know if this reporting is true, but let's say it is. Sean, it seems to me this is a kind of quote unquote leak you don't normally see in this administration. We know very little on about divisions or about who's for what. So is that kind of an aberration or maybe not accurate, or do you think there's something to that if it's true? Not
Oh, this
about the
is
position
very
on the bills, but I
reminiscent.
mean, of the first term. But we haven't. This is the first thing I've seen like this.
Yeah, but I mean, if you watch season one, it happened in every episode.
Right. But do you
Oh,
think this is a sign of like I'm sure there are divisions on Ukraine. I'm sure there are divisions on some aspects of Doge. So is this the sign that people are now going to go to the media, including dreaded Politico, when they disagree?
yeah, I think it's a great question you're asking. I just don't know. I mean, this is the first sign, as you've noted, that we're seeing. So is this going to become a recurrence? Will we play this out in the media, or is this just good reporting? I mean, look, the one of the things about Trump is that he actually encourages this. He wants to hear both sides and kind of
Yeah,
so. This is healthy and good. The question is it being weaponized? So are some of the internal factors
exactly.
saying, "Hey, are we doing this because we're trying to win him over?" Honestly, though, he's not like a big consumer of Politico, so I don't think that this might just be, frankly, the views of some of these folks. And I also, based on some of the other leaks that I've seen in the last 3 days, don't necessarily agree entirely that it has to be accurate.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree, but it's something to watch. Dan, what are your thoughts on if this is something that the White House comms operation is going to be like, everybody go back to your lanes and stop leaking, or an aberration, or what?
I'd like to hear that
It's,
conversation.
it's also not the first time because when the spending freeze happened, there was somebody leaked that a bunch of people were caught off guard that
But
they were
but the difference with that one was it was all anonymous. It just
yeah, no,
said some aides didn't like it. This is names. And
no,
again,
I hear
I
you,
hope I'm
but
not
I think
under explaining this, but this
yeah,
is much more significant to say the Treasury Secretary and the head of the OMB differ on a big issue. There's not a little issue. They differ on a big issue. So you're
yeah.
right. You're right. The thing you cited, which was showed up in several news organizations reporting, that was significant because it showed a little bit of dissent. But this to me is a horse of a different color.
Yeah, and I think it matches with the fact that Stephen Miller's biggest focus has always been immigration. JD Vance is very sensitive to the base. He is very attuned to what they want. Immigration, like so, and then I think energy, they want energy because they want to be able to point to something to say we're doing something to try to bring prices down and juice the economy. Because everything else right now is not really focused on the economy. Scott Bessent is concerned about the tax bill. That is in his lane, and that is going to be very hard, as Congressman, what's his name, the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee from Missouri, Jason Smith, has said. That bill as a standalone is very, very hard to get through the Republican House. So I think
Yeah,
everyone is pushing for their equities, and it
yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
Great point. Great point. For lobbyists watching this program, many do. Tell your clients it's going to be two bills.
And
It's
I
going to
think,
be
look,
two
I go
bills.
back to Trump. Trump is the chairman, not the CEO. He does not want to get involved in the day-to-day management. He
Yeah.
just doesn't.